Hi everyone, so in this video I'll be showing you how to make the 6 to 12 month size baby romper or dungaree. I'll show you how to work the waist flap, the bottom part, and how to work on your straps and how to attach your ribbing here. And this is a loose fitting romper, but if you want it tighter you can reduce the waist measurement, and this one average baby 6 to 12 month size. If you have your baby with you, you would want to take their waist measurement, but this is for the average sized baby. So let's get right into today's tutorial. So I'll be using this yarn Atadal anti-peeling yarn. It's 100% acrylic yarn, and this is 100 grams. I'll use about 2 of this, and I'll be using a 4mm crochet hook. So we are going to start by making a slip knot. And we are going to chain a total of 80 chains. So I now have my 80 chains, and it measures a total of 18 inches. So if you have less chains, you need to work more depending on your tension. If you have more, you will need to reduce it to get 18 inches. Based on my tension, 18 inches is equal to 80 chains. Okay, so you're now going to slip stitch to the first chain to form a ring. Make sure your chain is not twisted, and I'm going to go through the back bump. You see the bumps, the lines 1, 2, 3, and I'm going into the back bump, and this gives it a cleaner finish for me. So make a slip stitch. Now for round 1, you're going to chain 2 to start. Always chain 2 to start, but this chain 2 does not count as a stitch. And you're going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch all around. The first double crochet goes into the first stitch where we made our slip stitch. And so at the end of this round, you should have 80 double crochets. So continue working 1 double crochet in each stitch all around, and I'll meet you at the end of round 1. Now at the end of round 1, you're going to slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet. Make sure you're not slip stitching into the chain 2 because that does not count as a stitch. Okay. So this is the waistband. So we are going to work on round 2, chain 2 to start. And we are going to be working front post double crochets and back post double crochets. Be careful not to make a post around the previous chain 2. So go around the first double crochet and work a front post double crochet. Now work a back post double crochet. Front post double crochet, back post double crochet, front post double crochet, back post double crochet, front post double crochet. We are going to repeat this pattern all around for round 2. So continue doing this all around, and I'll meet you at the end of round 2. At the end of the round, you're going to slip stitch the top of the first front post double crochet. Now for round 3, you chain 2, and we are going to repeat round 2. Yarn over, make a front post double crochet around the first front post double crochet. Yarn over and make a back post double crochet around the previous back post double crochet. Front post double crochet around the next front post double crochet. Back post double crochet around the next back post double crochet. Front post double crochet, back post double crochet, front post double crochet, back post double crochet. So you're working front posts around the front posts and back posts around the back posts. So you're going to continue this pattern all around for round 3. And at the end of round 3, slip stitch the top of the first front post double crochet. We are going to repeat round 3 for round 4. So chain 2 and work 1 front post double crochet, back post double crochet all around for round 4, and I'll meet you at the end of round 4. Remember not to make a post around the beginning chain 2 of the previous round. So we've completed round 4 and our waistband is done. Now we are going to divide our waistband into 4 equal parts. So you would want to mark that with your stitch marker or with a piece of yarn if you don't have a stitch marker. Now I have a total of 80 double crochets, so that divided by 4 is going to give you 20 double crochets per each section. Okay, now what you are going to do is you are going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch, and every time you get to the stitch marker you are going to work 2 double crochets. So to start, chain 2. So now we are going to work 2 double crochets in the first stitch. Now the chain 2 does not count as a stitch, so we are going to start on the very first stitch. And this time around, we are going to go through the back loop. We are going through the back loop because we are going to use the front loop for the ruffle at the edge of the waistband. So yarn over, go through the back loop. You see the two lines here, so you go through the back like so and work 2 double crochets. Now I'm going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch till you get to the stitch marker. And again, for this entire round, we are working in the back loop only. So 1 double crochet in each stitch. Now I'm at the stitch marker and I'm going to work 2 double crochets into the back loop of that stitch. I'm going to continue working 1 double crochet in each stitch till you get to the next stitch marker. And remember, we are working into the back loops. Here at the next stitch marker, we are going to work 2 double crochets in the back loop of the stitch. We are working 1 double crochet in each stitch till we get to the next stitch marker. We are working in the back loops only. We are at the next stitch marker, so we are going to work 2 double crochets into the back loop. Now complete the round by working 1 double crochet in the back loops only till you get to the end of the round. At the end of this round, you should have a total of 84 stitches. Now slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet. Now to start round 6, chain 2, So we are always chaining 2 at the beginning of every round. So even if I don't mention it, this is something that you need to do, and that does not count as a stitch. So for round 6, we are going to work 1 double crochet in a stitch all around. So do this all around, and I'll meet you at the end of round 6. So slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet to end round 6. I'm going to repeat round 6 till you get to round 17. So repeat that for round 7, round 8, 9, 10 till you get to round 17, and I'll meet you at the end of round 17. I'm at the end of round 17, and at the end of round 17, from your waist to this point should measure 8 inches. So if it's less, you may want to work more rows. If it's more, you would want to decrease your rows. And this is waist to crotch. So we have a total of 84 double crochets. So each leg is going to have 42 stitches. So you're going to count from here 42 stitches and mark it with a stitch marker, because we are dividing the entire project into 2. So here you go, you mark it with your stitch marker, and we are going to start with the first leg. So chain 2, and you're going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch all around till you get to the stitch marker. So work your last double crochet into the last stitch here. You're going to slip stitch to the first double crochet. The first leg is formed, and we are going to chain 2 and work 1 double crochet in a stitch all around for the second round of the leg. So continue doing this, and I'll meet you at the end of round 2. So at the end of the round, slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet to close the round. So you're going to repeat round 2 till you get to round 7. So it means that you're going to work this for 5 more rounds. So work 1 double crochet in each stitch, and I'll meet you at the end of round 7. So at the end of round 7, we are going to work on our ribbed edging. So chain 2 to start round 8. Going to yarn over and work 1 front post double crochet around the first double crochet. Be careful not to work around the previous chain 2. So just as we did for the waist, we are going to do the same thing for the legs. 1 back post double crochet, front post double crochet, back post double crochet, front post double crochet. Back post double crochet, front post double crochet, back post double crochet, front post double crochet. So this is how it looks like. So you're going to continue working that all around, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. At the end of the round, slip stitch to the top of the first front post double crochet. Chain 1 and cut off your yarn. Cut it long enough to weave in your ends. Now we are going to work on the other leg. So you're going to insert your hook. Leave a long tail because we use that to sew our crotch area. Grab your yarn and secure it with a knot. Now we are going to repeat everything we did for this leg as well. So insert your hook, grab your yarn and chain 2 to start. Work 1 double crochet in each stitch, and we are starting from the very first stitch where we have our chain 2. So this is the last stitch. Pick your last double crochet and slip stitch into the first double crochet to close. So you're going to repeat everything you did for this leg as well. So complete this leg, complete the edging, and I'll meet you when your second leg is done. So now that we finished with both legs, we are now going to sew our crotch together. So turn your work wrong side out. We are going to use this tail to sew our crotch together. So using your yarn needle, pull the yarn needle through the stitches, and then you're going to join them together like so. Now turn your work right side out. So the side with the seam here is the back and the clean side is the front. So we are going to start working on our ruffle on the waist, our shell ruffle on the waist. So we are going to start at the back so that our seam doesn't show at the front. So remember that at the waist we worked in the back loop only, so we have our front loops showing here. So we are going to go through the front loops at the bottom of round 4 of our waistband. So find the middle section, insert your hook into any of the front loops that are poking out, grab your yarn, pull through and secure it with a knot. Make sure you leave a long tail for weaving in. Now we are going to be making increases. So insert your hook, grab your yarn, chain 2 to start. So make 2 double crochets into the first stitch. And this is the same stitch as you have your chain 2. So the very first stitch, the chain 2 does not count as a stitch. Work another 2 double crochet into the next stitch. So 1 and 2. Then in the third stitch, work 1 double crochet. In the next 2 stitches, you're working 2 double crochets. So in the first one, work 2 double crochets. In the next one, work 2 double crochets. In the third one, work 1 double crochet. 2 double crochets into the next. Two double crochets into the next. And then 1 double crochet into the next stitch. So this is a repeat for the increase. You work 2 double crochets into the first 2 stitches, then 1 double crochet into the next. 2 double crochets into the next 2 stitches, 1 double crochet into the next. 2 double crochets into the next 2 stitches, 1 double crochet into the next. So repeat that all around until you are left with 2 stitches, and I'll meet you when you have 2 stitches left at the end of this round. Now in the last 2 stitches, you are going to work 1 double crochet in each of them. And then slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet. The chain 2 does not count as a stitch. Now if you did your increase pattern right, you are going to get 132 double crochets at the end of this first round. Now we are going to work our shell pattern. So chain 3. Now this chain 3 counts as a stitch. So note that. You're going to mark the top of it, and you're going to work 2 more double crochets in the same starting stitch. So we have 3 double crochets because the chain 3 counts as a stitch. Now chain 3, yarn over and work 3 more double crochets in the same stitch. Now our first shell is formed. Yarn over and you're going to skip the next 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're going to work another shell in the 6th stitch. So work 3 double crochets in the 6th stitch. 1, 2, 3, into chain 3, yarn over and work 3 more double crochets in the same stitch. This is how our shell looks like. So you're going to repeat that all around. 1, skip 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure you're counting your stitches well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the 6th stitch, work your 3 double crochets. Chain 3, yarn over and work 3 more double crochets. Skip the next 5 stitches. In the 6th stitch, work your shell. 1, 2, 3, chain 3, yarn over and work 3 more double crochets. Yarn over, skip the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the 6th stitch, work your shell. 3, chain 3, yarn over and work your 3 double crochets. So continue working this pattern all around and I'll meet you at the end of the round to show you how to complete it. Now if you did it well, you're going to have 5 stitches left at the end. So you're going to skip all 5 and you're going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. So now we are going to work on round 3 and that's going to be a repeat. Now you're going to chain 1, slip stitch into the first stitch, slip stitch into the second, slip stitch into the third. And now we are going to slip stitch to the center of the chain. Now chain 3, and this chain 3 counts as a stitch, so we are going to mark the top of it and work 2 double crochets into the chain. Chain 3, yarn over and work 3 double crochets into the chain. You're going to skip all these and we're going to work directly into the next chain space. So work 3 double crochets here, chain 2, 3, yarn over and work 3 more double crochets. Yarn over, you're skipping all this and you're coming directly into the next chain 3 space. So work 3 double crochets, chain 3 and work 3 double crochets into the chain 3 space. So this is how it looks. You're going to repeat that all around. So you're going to repeat this all around and I'll meet you at the end. Now at the end of the round, you're going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 to close the round. So this is how the pattern looks like. So you're going to start round 4, which is going to be a repeat of round 3. So chain 1, slip stitch into the same stitch, slip stitch into the second stitch, slip stitch into the third, and then slip stitch into the chain space. Now we're going to start our shell, so chain 3, and this chain 3 counts as a stitch. You're going to repeat everything we did for round 2 for round 3. So yarn over and make 2 double crochets. So you're going to be working in the chain 3 spaces. So complete the round and I'll meet you at the end of round 4 to close the round. At the end of round 4, you're going to skip all the spaces and slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. Now you're going to repeat round 3 for one more round. That's round 5. So complete round 5 and I'll meet you at the end when you've completed your round. Chain 1 and cut off your yarn. Make sure you cut it long enough to weave in your ends. Pull through and secure your knot. So now remember to weave in all your ends and we'll now work on the top part of the romper. So now we are done with the shell stage. Make sure you weave in all your ends. Now we are going to work on the top part of the romper. So you're going to find the middle part of the romper like so. You can fold it like this and it can help you to find the middle section here. So make sure you are marking the front side. The back side is where we have the seam. So mark the middle part, and we are going to count 15 stitches from this middle point. So 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 9, 15. And then on this side, we are going to count 14. So in total, we are going to have 30 stitches because of the middle section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14. So right here, all right, so we have a total of 30 stitches. You are going to grab your yarn, make sure you leave a long tail as always. Remove your stitch marker, insert your hook, grab your yarn and secure it with a knot. So we are going to start working our pattern for the upper part. So insert your hook, grab your yarn, chain 2. Now the chain 2 here does not count as a stitch. So you're going to yarn over and work 1 double crochet in the first stitch. Now we're going to skip the next stitch and we'll work 1 double crochet in the third stitch. So you skip this and work 1 double crochet here. Now we are going to work across double crochet. So yarn over, move back into the stitch you skipped, and work your double crochet. So it gives you that cross effect. Yarn over, make 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Yarn over, we'll skip the next stitch, make 1 double crochet into the next. Going to yarn over and cross back into the stitch you skipped. You have your cross. So it's 1 double crochet and then you make your cross stitches. 1 double crochet, your cross stitches. So you're going to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Now you're going to skip the next one and work 1 double crochet into the next. Yarn over, now cross. One double crochet into the next. Yarn over, skip the stitch, work in this one. Yarn over and cross over to the other one that you just skipped. One double crochet into the next stitch. Yarn over, skip the next stitch, make 1 double crochet into the next. Yarn over and cross over to the stitch you just skipped. So double crochet, cross double crochet, double crochet, cross double crochet, like that. So continue to the end of the row you're ending on this stitch marker. 1 double crochet in the next. Skip the stitch and work 1 double crochet into the last stitch. Yarn over and cross over. Okay, so this is how row 1 will look like. You are going to chain 2 and turn your work. I'm going to work 1 double crochet all across. So be counting your stitches, make sure you have 30 double crochets. The chain 2 does not count as a stitch. So I'm going to make 1 double crochet in the first stitch. and then all across. I'm at the end of the row. I'm going to work my last double crochet. So this is a repeat for the top part. You work row 1 and then row 2, row 1 and row 2. You work it until you get to row 9. So chain 2 to turn. Again, the chain 2 does not count as a stitch. So you're going to repeat row 1. So work 1 double crochet into the first stitch, same stitch as a chain 2. Now you're going to skip this stitch and work in the next stitch, yarn over and work your cross. Yarn over, work 1 double crochet, skip the stitch, work in the next, yarn over, work the cross in the stitch you just skipped, 1 double crochet in the next, yarn over, skip the stitch, work in the next stitch, yarn over, work in the cross. You need to be very careful so that you don't wear the double crochets in the other stitch. So always make sure you are counting the number of double crochets you have so that you don't work twice in the same stitch. So work 1 double crochet in this, skip this, work in that, yarn over and work your cross. You will skip this stitch and work in our last stitch. And cross. So this is how row 3 looks like. So you're going to chain 2, turn your work, and the chain 2, always remember, does not count as a stitch. So for row 4, we are going to repeat row 2 by working 1 double crochet in a stitch. And our first double crochet goes into the same stitch as where we had a chain 2. So work 1 double crochet in each stitch all across. So chain 2 to start row 5, turn your work. So this is what you'll be repeating up to row 9. So you're going to repeat row 1, row 2, row 1, row 2. So finish that and I'll meet you when you're at the end. So I've completed the front flap and I have 9 rows, total of 5 inches. So you're going to chain 1 and cut off your ring. Pull through and we are done with the front flap. So we are going to repeat the same thing for the back as well. So turn your work over and again we are going to find the middle part and we are going to count 15 stitches here and 15 and you're going to count 14 on the side, not including this stitch. So make sure you have 30 stitches in total because the front and the back should line up. And so same thing here, you're going to insert your hook, grab your yarn and pull through. So insert your hook, grab your yarn. We are going to repeat the same thing we did here. So we are going to work our first row, second row, and work with our repeat till we get 9 rows for the back as well. So I'm going to work the first 2 rows and I'll leave you to finish up and I'll meet you at the end. So always chain 2 to start and work your first double crochet in the same stitch as a chain 2 because a chain 2 does not count as a stitch. Now you're going to skip the next stitch, insert your hook into the third stitch, work 1 double crochet, yarn over and then come back into the stitch you skipped and work your cross, double crochet, work 1 double crochet into the next, skip the next stitch, work 1 double crochet, come back into the skip stitch, work your cross. Always make sure you are not working twice into the same stitch. It can be a bit tricky here. So always count how many double crochets you have at the end of the row. So row 1 is done. We are going to chain 2 and turn your work. Yarn over. I'm going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch. And starting from the first stitch, because the chain 2 does not count as a stitch. Please let me know if you would want a pattern for this romper from 0 to the full 12 months, and I'll work on that and pin it under the description of this video when it's ready. Now chain 2 and turn your work. This is like the front flap. You're just going to repeat row 1 and row 2 until you get to row 9, and I'll meet you at the end of row 9 to complete the top part of this romper. So I'm now working my back flap. You should have the same number of rows, 9 rows, and you should measure the same as the back, and you have a measurement of 5 inches from the waist. I'm going to show you how to finish off and work the shoulder straps. So chain 1, going to turn your work, and we're going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch all around the waist, here, there, and here. And as we work, we'll be working the shoulder straps. So I'll show you how to go about that. So you turn your work like so, and over here we have double crochets. Work 1 single crochet into the first space here because the stitches are longer. We are going to skip this space. There's a space here. There's a double crochet. We are going to work into the next space. Right? I need to mark my first with stitch marker. So double crochets on the side have 2 spaces. So we'll skip this one, work in this stitch. Skip this one and work in this one. Going to skip this and work in that one. They can be a bit tricky to work in, so just take your time and go through. We'll skip this very one and work in this one. Skip this and work in that. So it gives you a straighter edge. Make sure you don't tighten it too much, otherwise your work is going to curl up. Skip this and work in that. If you find that because of your tension your work is curling, then I will advise you to just work in every space. So this is how it looks like. Gives you a straighter edge. So we are going to work around the waist till we get to the front flap. At the waist you work in every stitch. Don't skip any of the stitches. Okay, so we are at the front flap and we are going to work into the corner here and work into every other space. So skip the space So make sure you're skipping just one space and not two. So we've arrived at the front flap. I'm going to make one stitch. I've worked on the edge. I'm going to make one stitch at the top here. Right, the corners, you turn them by making 3 single crochets in each corner. So I've worked the first one, I'm going to work the second one, and then the third, right? And from here, so you have 3 single crochets in each corner, right? It helps you turn the work easily. So from here, we are going to work on our strap. So I've chained 50 and we are going to be working half double crochet. So you're going to skip the first chain here. The loop on the hook does not count as stitch. So yarn over and work a half double crochet in the second stitch. Continue working a half double crochet in each stitch all along the chains. So I'm done working my strap, and you're going to slip stitch into the second stitch here. So you skip the first stitch, the second one, so that it lands nicely. Insert your hook and you have your strap. So you continue working one double crochet in each stitch. So before we get to the corner, we're going to leave 2 stitches to work our strap here. Now we have 2 stitches left here. We are going to chain 50, work the second strap just as we did over here. So chain 50 when you have 2 stitches left. Okay, so 50, you skip the loop on the hook, the first stitch, yarn over and work 1/2 double crochet in the second chain, and continue working 1/2 double crochet in each stitch all along. So I've worked on my last chain and I have 2 stitches left. So I'm going to slip stitch into the last stitch. I'm going to skip this one and slip stitch here. So we are going to work 1 single crochet in every other stitch. Let's get this. Some of the waist area, I'm going to work 1 single crochet into the stitches at the waist in each stitch, just as we did on the other side. Going to work on this side. Making 1 single crochet in every other space. So we are at the corner here. I'm going to work my 3 single crochets to help us turn easily. Now my 3 single crochets are done. I'm going to work on the strap. So we are here at the last 2 stitches. I'm going to chain 50. We have 2 stitches left here. So we're going to skip the stitch and work a slip stitch into the last stitch. Now remember, we worked only 1 stitch into this stitch, so you're going to work an extra 1 stitch. We already have 1 single crochet on this side when we started, so you're going to slip stitch here and you are done. Chain 1 and then cut off your yarn. Set your hook and pull through. So now you're going to weave in all your ends. So do that and we'll come back and finish off. So our straps are done now. Make sure your work is facing you on the front side. And there you have it. So we are now going to work on our ribbon. You can get this ribbon on Amazon or any craft store. It's a satin ribbon. So I'm going to measure about 14 inches. And then you put the so you can buy a ready-made ribbon so that you don't have to make this on your own. So you find the middle portion and then you cross over like so. Yep, and there you go. This is perfect for a cake smash as a gift, or to just enjoy for your little one.